Greetings and welcome to the Word Bible software. Today we have the privilege of introducing you to a modern grammar of biblical Hebrew. Let's go ahead and open up the Word Bible software. I'm going to go ahead and go to the title page. We're going to go and open this up. And right here we see it's a modern grammar for biblical Hebrew. It's by Dwayne Garrett and Jason S. DeRucci. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. They both have a background in the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, and one graduating from there and another one teaching there. Looking at a little bit of some basic information for it. It's published 2019, so it's a newer book. It's by B&H Academic, Nashville, Tennessee. If you want to grab the ISBN, you can get it right there. About it, you're going to see some verse pop-ups that are available, or you can click on them, more fully searchable text, footnotes throughout, easy navigation of topics via topic tree display, which we're going to see that, and special colors. There's the normal text, there's the hyperlink text, some page numbers are referenced, which are handy if you're looking at the printed copy, and Hebrew throughout. So let's go ahead and go in here. So you'll see, per the normal, this one, as I looked just recently at some information about it, it's designed for a 2-semester course, so you can use this as a teaching course. Perhaps you would like to do a self-study. So check this out. You have your Hebrew and your alphabet. What I've noted is that throughout there's Blackboard form. It's a graphic, but they're helpful as you look through things. So we have the normal, we have final forms, and they had to point out the 2 normal forms. You can go down through, they list the confusing letters, etc. If you hover over one of these hyperlinks that are connected to the dictionary at the back of the book, let's go to that. So dagesh lene, for example, a dagesh that hardens the pronunciation of the letter in which it is inserted. It is used only with the bagad kafet letters in section 1 and 2. So if we were to click that, it would jump us down here to the glossary for the study of the Hebrew grammar. You will note if you were to open this up, you can get in. Let's go back down here. You can get into all the different words. But throughout the book, the hyperlinks are very helpful in letting us know some information quickly. Let's jump down here to gender and numbers and nouns. So a gender, let's look at how they define that. Classifying a word as masculine, feminine, or neuter. In Hebrew, all nouns are either masculine or feminine, and most finite verbs have gender. Grammatical gender is at times different than natural gender, and you can see the double kind of S. They're a little bit different than that, but that's section 5 and 6. Let's continue onward. So if you wanted to look it up, you would see that section 5 and 6. And by the way, let's go down there and see what they indicate by that little section indicator. So we go up here, it says the chapter in which a term first occurs is marked with this special kind of an S. Now, what you will see is so if they say over here active voice and it says section or chapter 6 essentially. Let's go to the kal infinitive construct and the weketol. So we have the rule of shua. When a word begins with 2 consecutive shuas, and sorry for my pronunciation here, the first becomes hirek and the second becomes a silent shua. Special rules apply with gutturals. You can get into these. So as we kind of just scroll down through, you'll see different things that are available. You will note that the table of contents here has been adjusted. The font size has been adjusted to a special font to deal with the Hebrew that is found throughout the topic tree. Now, the book has chapter 1 through chapter 41. Down here is an overview of poetry, and they get into various items. There you have your glossary. You have your Hebrew English vocabulary by chapter. Note that if you go to, for example, 31, you'll see there is actually a vocabulary area. So there's core vocabulary, reading vocabulary. But you can go back down here. There's vocabulary by chapter if you want to go through that. Vocabulary in alphabetic order. Perhaps you're wanting to look one up. You could go ahead and expand this here. And you could go in according to the main letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And you could click on that and it would bring you to that. The vocabulary that's in that section. And then you have your appendix, principal parts and finite verb paradigms. You can go down through there. So the Calstem paradigm, you can go ahead and we're going to close this area so we can see it a little bit clear. You can go down through, and you can the strong, cattle paradigm, and etc. And you can get into the different types, the hollow, and there is the imperative, the infinitive, construct, infinitive, absolute, participle, and participle, etc. The jussive. If you wanted to look that up, you could do that, and so on. So what we're going to do is now close this out. Actually, we're going to open up the topic tree again, and you will see, remembering the different chapters and the different overview, you can go ahead and dig further into this resource. There's a lot in here. It would keep you going for quite a while. This would be a good book for a self-study perhaps, or especially with a teacher, maybe if you're teaching a class or something like that. And again, you could use this to then fill in, for example, if you were to purchase a resource not quite yet available, such as the BHS ETCBC, you would find things like, this comes from, let me turn on my morphology here, and you would get things, does not appear to be ready yet. But basically what you will find here is you could use the cal when it talks about the cal. Oh, another one that has these built in is the WHM. And if you looked at a verb, and so we have right here, shema, we could see down here, this is the cal imperative. And you can't quite see it, it's off screen there. Let me bring it down to you. And you have the verb cal imperative masculine singular, and so you can get into that, and you could go in to what that would mean. You could look up the cal imperative. So let's go into cal, and so the cal stem, and well, let's actually go back up to cal, and we want to go into the cal perfect. Actually, not the cal perfect. Let's go to the summary of the cal catal. Perfect verb. Oh, this is the perfect again. Since it's the cal perfect imperfect, we need the imperative is what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go open a new window. Going to do book view. We're going to search inside here. I'm going to drop this down here so you can kind of get a little better look at it. Let's look up cal imperative. And so, no, let's try that again, cal. So we look that up, and we can go down in through here and look at different chapters. We've got the glossary, of course, vocabulary, principal parts of the weak verb, cal imperative, there we are. So now we found it using the search tool. And here, the imperative, looking at that, a verb used for giving a direct command in Hebrew is always a second person. So very informative. We go back over here and we look at our... And this is noting that this is a masculine singular, so it's pointing to that person. So second masculine singular is probably what it's going to be looking at. And you can go down through here now and check this out. So hopefully that's been a quick overview in the study of this resource. And we thank, again, B&H Publishing for this resource that they've provided for us, and that we work together with them on that. And you can get into this a little bit more, but the B&H academic resources here have been very helpful with us, and they have some excellent resources. Do check them out. Thank you for your time, and hope that this resource will help you dig into God's Word and get into the Hebrew and get to understand that Hebrew grammar. God bless.